The rainforest of South America is a beautiful and busy place. It has a lot of trees, bushes, and other plants. These plants come in all different shades of green. The trees here are tall, and the big leaves create a canopy that shades the ground from the hot sun. It kind of looks like when you put a blanket over your head or over a chair to create a fort, just like a blanket fort. The rainforest is sometimes a little dark, but is still comfortable and perfect for the animals who live there. You can imagine that your warm blankets are the leaves forming the canopy of the rainforest right now. These blankets will keep you warm and protected as you fall asleep. Underneath the canopy is where all the animals live. They appreciate that the big leaves and branches above them provide shade and protection from the sun, especially when it's very hot. Many of these animals make their homes on the rainforest floor. The ground is covered with fallen leaves and is usually damp from all the rain that gives this place its name. The animals don't mind though. They are used to everything being a bit damp in the rainforest. Some of the animals are tiny and others are big. We'll visit some of the little ones first. Bugs are the smallest animals in the rainforest. One type of bug that lives here is called a cicada. Cicadas look like beetles and sound like crickets. They are silver and shiny. You may have seen a type of cicada near your house. They're very common in a lot of different places. These little bugs are able to make loud noises, even though they're small, throughout the day and night. Cicadas sing songs for all the other animals. To hear these other animals, listen to the cicada songs while they sleep. Imagine that you can hear their song just like these animals. You can even pretend that the cicadas are just outside your window, singing you a lullaby. The soft, sweet sounds will help lull you to sleep, along with the many types of bugs. There are small amphibians like the red-eyed tree frog. These tree frogs are bright green with white bellies and orange feet. Their eyes are a deep red, which might seem unusual, but actually looks very cute. Their red eyes stand out against their light green skin. During the day, the red-eyed tree frogs sit on the underside of big green leaves. Their toes are covered in a sticky substance that allows them to stay stuck to the plants. Their green skin blends in with the color of the leaves, which helps them hide from all the bigger animals. They wait for bugs to come close enough to them and then use their long tongues to catch them. When bugs come close, the frogs stick their tongues out as far as they can catch the bugs and roll their bugs back into their mouths. Maybe in your dreams, you will be camouflaged just like the frogs. Maybe you will be able to hide in plain sight and blend in with the leaves of the forest. That would be very helpful for a game of hide. And snakes are excellent at playing hide. And there are a lot of snakes in the rainforest, like the green anaconda, which is the heaviest snake in the world, and one of the longest. Most are over 10 feet long and weigh more than 100 pounds. Just like their name says, green anacondas are a light olive green with black splotches across their bodies. Their eyes are a deep, dark brown. Anacondas are good swimmers. They stretch their long bodies out and swim with their eyes and noses just above the surface of the water. They are very sneaky as they swim through the murky water, which makes it hard for other animals to spot them when anacondas are not swimming. They spend a lot of time sleeping. They curl their long bodies up into tight circles and rest their heads on their tails. As you sleep, you can stretch your body out on the bed just like the anacondas do. but you probably put your head on a pillow instead of on your tail. Iguanas are big lizards that live in the jungle. They have spikes along their backs and heads and have long tails. They are a pretty light green with small shiny scales. Iguanas can grow to be quite large. Some of them can reach 6 feet long. That's bigger than many people. They search for yummy leaves, flowers, and berries to eat up high in trees and down low on the ground. Iguanas are able to climb up high into the trees. Sometimes iguanas jump down from the trees into the river and swim away from predators. Iguanas are great swimmers and have a lot of fun while they do it. Can you imagine being that high up in a tree? The iguanas climb so high that when they look down, all of the plants and animals below them seem even smaller than they really are in your dreams. Maybe you will be able to climb the tallest tree you can find. Once you're up there, you can look out as far as you can see. Maybe you'll be able to see your house or your school or the playground, or maybe you can see the rainforest and all the animals that live there. If you can see the rainforest, you might even be able to see a sloth. Sloths are cute and fuzzy animals with long arms and long white claws. Their claws help them to hang on to tree trunks and branches. Sloths have round heads and tiny little ears and almost look like teddy bears. Sloths spend almost all of their time in the trees. They like to spend their days at the tops of the trees where it's quiet and peaceful. Sloths are really lazy and love to sleep. They move very slowly, and sometimes they stay in the same tree for years, just hanging out and eating berries. They can sleep for almost 18 hours a day. Even though they sleep so much, by the time night falls, the sloths are tired and ready to sleep again. As you try to sleep, you can pretend that you are a sloth. These slow and tired animals want nothing more than to curl up and get a good night's rest. Sloths would probably love to sleep in a big, comfy bed just like you do. If there were beds in the rainforest, the anteaters would be especially happy to have fuzzy blankets. Anteaters are big, funny-looking animals with long noses. They walk on 4 legs and have long tan and brown fur on their backs. They have a big black stripe with white stripes around it. Their fur is rough, kind of like the bristles of a toothbrush. Their long snouts point towards the ground. This helps them to scoop up ants and other bugs to eat with their long, skinny tongues. Their tongues can be up to 2 feet long. When they are hungry, they find an anthill or a termite hill and stick their long tongues directly into the dirt to scoop up the little insects. Maybe you will dream about having a pet anteater. The anteater would walk on a leash like a dog. You could take the anteater to the park and try to teach it to play. Fetch, Anita would be a lovely pet, but a capybara would be even better. Capybaras are the world's largest rodents. They almost look like giant guinea pigs with rough light brown fur and dark brown eyes. Capybaras are cute and snuggly and are the nicest animals in the rainforest. They are very friendly and can be found spending time with other species. Sometimes they sunbathe on the banks of the rivers with the iguanas. Let the monkeys brush their fur and let the birds rest on their backs. Capybaras can also swim fast and dive deep into the rivers of the rainforest to help them cool off during the hot summers. After they swim, they relax along the riverbanks with all of their friends. Imagine what it would be like to spend time with a capybara. These sweet animals are very cuddly. If you were sleeping in the rainforest, you could use a giant leaf from one of the tallest trees as a blanket and a capybara as a pillow. Up in the trees, there are many types of monkeys. Monkeys have really long tails which they use to grab onto things. This helps them to be able to balance on branches without falling off. Monkeys are distantly related to their cousins, the apes who live far away. Monkeys are smaller than apes and are not quite as smart. Apes are much bigger than monkeys. They are stronger with broader shoulders. They are able to swing back and forth across branches using their upper body strength. Apes are incredibly smart and use tools to help them with different tasks in their lives, just like you do. They use their tools to find food and to defend themselves. Both monkeys and apes are social animals. They are fun-loving and playful and like to make faces and play peekaboo with big leaves. They run and chase each other just like little human kids do, while the monkeys play in the trees and on the land. The dolphins play in the rivers. River. Dolphins are slightly different from dolphins that live in the ocean. River dolphins have longer snouts than saltwater dolphins and are gray, light blue, and sometimes even pink. River dolphins are friendly and are interested in human activity. When people take boats down the rivers of the rainforest, the dolphins swim nearby to try and figure out what's going on. They are curious and like to watch humans and other animals. They swim back and forth and up and down the rivers. They also play games just like you and your friends to talk to their friends. Dolphins make chirping and clicking sounds that can be heard below the water in your dreams. You can imagine that you are playing in the rainforest with the monkeys and the river dolphins. You could run around and swing from the trees, and if you got too hot, you could cool off by sitting near the river. The river is nice and relaxing, and the dolphins could swim by to say hello. Another animal that likes to sit by the river is the jaguar. Jaguars are enormous cats with tan fur, with big black spots across their whole bodies. They have big yellow eyes that help them see in the dark. Even though they are wild animals, they act a lot like big house cats. They like to play and chase things, and they also love to nap. Jaguars are great at climbing trees. They are very agile and flexible. Even though they are big, they are able to move carefully and quietly. They can jump into tree branches or climb up the tree trunks without being seen or heard. As you lie in bed, you can imagine that you're sneaky, like the jaguar to be sneaky. You have to be quiet and still, just like when you're trying to fall asleep. If you were being quiet and still in the rainforest, you might even see one of the bright and colorful birds that live there. One of these birds is the macaw, which is a type of parrot. Macaws come in all colors of the rainbow, and some are multicolored. They are beautiful and stand out against the mostly green background of the rainforest. Macaws can learn to speak like humans and are very friendly. Their voices sound raspy and funny, but people are sometimes able to understand them. Macaws fly high in the sky above the trees, but when it's time for bed, they tuck themselves into their nests and close their eyes. And now, as you drift off to sleep, imagine that you can hear the macaw and all the other animals of the rainforest telling you good night and wishing you sweet dreams.